Hello class. I want to show you how to zip and unzip files. This isn't so much going to be a issue with this particular class and the new e-course, but in the previous versions, classes that I had before, whenever people would try to send, especially like access databases, which you'll see in chapter 6 and 7, there was email issues because of either the sizes of the access database, because just the access database itself is usually a little bit on the larger side, and also probably more importantly, a lot of email systems thought there might be viruses and things like that in the access database, so it wouldn't allow the database to be transmitted. So we'd have to jump through some hoops in order to get that to work. Even though that's not necessarily going to be an issue, I still wanted to cover this anyhow because I think it's a good exercise for us to do that. So one of the places that I will take you to is www.7-zip.org. If you have something like WinZip already, and there's probably a half a dozen or couple of dozen other different zip softwares out there. You're more than welcome to use those. They all do the same thing. They just basically look for like repeating characters, spaces, things like that, and it compresses the file down in size. And we'll take a look to see that sometimes it compresses it down maybe to 80% of the size of the file, and sometimes it presses it down to about 10% of the size of the file. So it can be a very significant change. I've downloaded this before, so some of this will be a little bit different, but I'll try and note that. Once you're in here, you can select one of the download links. I usually select this executable link here. By the way, this is open source software, and as you know, since I'm cheap, since I'm frugal, I like to use that software that doesn't cost me anything. If work is paying for it, I don't mind it so much. I happen to be using Mozilla Firefox as my internet browser, so if you're using something like Internet Explorer, it might be slightly different the way your download works. In this case here, I will save it, and it goes to a downloads folder that I have. It's a very quick download. It's already done. Go to my downloads, and it's right there. I have a 2 next to it because I've already downloaded it once, so this is the second iteration of it. I'm going to install this anyhow, reinstall it basically over the other version. I just select run, ask me what folder I want to put this into. I just let it default, and now it's finished. So that's the installation of the software itself. Now to use it, say take this particular file here. This is a work file that I have. It's 142 kilobytes. I right clicked. Excuse me, you can't see what I'm doing here. What I'm doing right now is I'm right clicking on that particular file, and I end up with several different items listed here. Yours may be slightly different. I have a different archiving software here. You're probably not going to have that. You're probably not going to have the PGP desktop, the Ultra Edit, but you should have the 7-zip in there. And what I will do is I will normally add to archive. If I were to extract it to that particular file, it would create an extract of that. However, it puts it into a file name that I'd rather have control over. So I'm going to add to archive. All right, and it gives me this menu selection screen here. It might normally on the archive format default to 7Z, which is the 7-zip software format itself. I prefer to go with the actual zip because that's more universal. More programs will understand that. I just let the name resolve to itself, and it automatically, since I said put it as a zip format, archive format, it gives the extension. I leave everything else the same. You can certainly play around with some of those different functions if you want. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold there. And this now gives me a new folder here. And if you see, there's kind of um, it's a folder kind of with a zipper on it. So it's been archived. And this folder is only 8 kilobytes as compared to the 142. So it compressed it quite a bit. If I just double click it, I end up with the Excel file there. And I could actually open this file up from here if I wanted to double click it and work. Or what I can do is I could go here, right click it, and go to my 7-zip again, and then I could extract here. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Yes, it sees it already has it loaded there on there, and I could. Well, I certainly don't mind doing this. Would you replace? Sure, go ahead and replace it. All right. So it just went out and replaced the file that was out there, but it would have written it if that file had not been there. It would have written it. As a matter of fact, I can even do that because I'll just go through and delete it. Oops. And just select the extract. It's got set it up as a folder. I could have had it directly, but now it's totally back to the 142 reconstituted. I added water. So that is how you use the zipping software to both archive and compress and decompress the folded files that you have. You can, and the beauty of this is, you can stick multiple files into a compressed folder. This is very, very helpful if you have, multiple files that you want to. Let's just do we'll do those 3. I can select all 3 of those files, and for some reason it didn't like probably that HTML file. And I could, at that point, add both of those to an archive, and it would put both items into a zipped folder. So, hope this works for you. Hope it's useful. Like I said, we may not need to use this because of the new system, but you may find a use out there, especially if you're trying to clean up your computer or something. Thanks. Bye.